everyone, this is George Strezov with the last walkthrough video for Jade Ethnic Orchestra, and this time we are focusing on the wind instruments of the library. From the unnerving sound of the SWANA to the beautiful sound of the xiao or the unique voice of the wind chur, Jade Ethnic Orchestra again gives you lots of colors that you can use in your music. With a few exceptions, you have two quasi-dynamics, changeable by CC1 or modulation by default. One performance that is non-vibrato and one that is slightly more expressive with vibrato. So without further ado, here are the patches. Let's start with the DJ. We have three instruments here, alto, soprano and piccolo. They all have two patches, legato sustains and staccatos with multiple round robins. We continue with the xiao that has two patches. The Hulusi is the instrument closer in sound to the Western clarinet. Here we have sampled three different instruments, tenor, alto and soprano. All have sustains and legato plus staccato with multiple round robins. Tsun is an instrument from the ocarina family, a beautiful and delicate instrument with legato and staccato. The SWANA is an extremely loud instrument, which I would say is very close to the Bulgarian zurna. Again, here we have three different types, alto, soprano and piccolo. All were recorded with sustains and legato and staccato with multiple round robins. Sheng is like a handheld pipe organ that produces a sound closer to that of a bassoon and a melodica. Since each pipe has its own reed, Sheng can be played polyphonically, and its music sounds to some people like 8-bit or chiptune music. Sheng can be played by both inhaling and exhaling through the instrument, which creates many unique forms of expression, such as the fluttered tongue, or hushe, which is the inhaling or exhaling rapidly. Again, here we have sustains with legato and staccato. Another peculiar instrument is the wind chur. The wind instrument chur is played out of one side of the mouth, allowing players to accompany themselves with a drone out of the other side of the mouth that sounds similar to multiphonic humai singing. Chur produces a very soft, uniquely traditional tone, and this is the first time it has been sampled for use in a virtual instrument. You have the drone separated from the melodic line, and thus you can create interesting and magical sounds. And last but not least, the Shakuhachi. Even though it's not Chinese in nature, we just had to sample one played by the same wonderful musician who also recorded the xiao, since both instruments are from the same family. Here you have sustains and legato plus staccato. And finally, in case you have missed the previous walkthrough videos, let me remind you that this library was recorded in Tweak Tone Labs, China, with two different mic positions, close and decca. Which we later on amped and recorded inside the stage of Sophia Session Studio, where we recorded our other libraries like Afflatus, Votum, Freya, Ava, Rodope, Balkan, Stormchoir Ultimate and others. This will give you enough freedom while mixing and combining sound, especially if you want to blend the ethnic instruments with our other libraries. When it comes to the mixer, you also have an option to disable the microphone, to solo and mute, and also a very cool feature which is the stereo spread function of the signal. In the main controls you have legato switch, you can turn it off in case you dislike the recorded intervals, overlap mode, releases and reverb. Just to clarify something about the overlap mode, if this is enabled, you can hold for instance a constant drone while playing a melody on top. If you disable it, any new legato note will stop the previous one. This is useful for clearing up muddiness in the transitions of melodies or even melodic content with more than one voice. In the advanced options, you have an option to map the sustain pedal function to any controller by just right-clicking on the button and pressing the Learn MIDI CC automation. You also have Niente, which further amplifies the dynamics, and then the bottom end of the dynamic controller starts at complete silence. You can also adjust the bass key of the key switches, change the default controllers of dynamic and expression, which by default are CC1 and CC11, and you can change the instrument attack and release. We hope that you've enjoyed this last walkthrough video. Please stay tuned for new demos, more behind the scenes videos and more MIDI playthrough videos. Jade Ethnic Orchestra is now available for pre-order on our website. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell for more news and videos. A big thank you for watching.